Good morning and welcome to Missoula Real Estate Today. This is Denny Bedard. Missoula Real Estate Today is presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Diane's been working with buyers and sellers in the Missoula market for over 25 years and shares her insights on the local housing market. Along with her trusted partners, Diane provides complete service for your real estate transaction and brings us guests who provide useful information on industry-related topics and trends. And now, Missoula Real Estate Today on News Talk, KGVO. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Missoula Real Estate Today. Everybody loves a parade, right? Not talking about the homecoming parade, but we've got a parade of homes coming up, an exciting annual event in Missoula. And with us to talk about that today, we have Amber Shaffer. Amber is the membership coordinator for the Missoula Building Industry Association, the MBIA. Also, Jared Kuehn. Jared is in commercial lending with First Security Bank. We welcome you both. And Amber, I'll start with you. What exactly is the MBIA, and who all do you serve?
So the MBIA is the Missoula Building Industry Association, and so our membership, if you become a member with us, that also includes membership with the Montana Building Industry Association as well as the National Association of Home Builders.
And how did you get involved with the MBIA?
One of my previous employers is a member, and just started volunteering at different events for the home show and the parade, and then just got involved that way.
Yeah. The fact that coordinator is in your title, that probably means a lot of work. What all does a membership coordinator have to do on a year-round basis?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We reach out and find new members, make sure the members that we have are happy with their membership, and really know all the benefits that we have to offer.
Yeah. Is that one of the members standing beside you there?
Yep.
He? Yeah.
He's actually vice president.
He must be a good member that you invited him along on your airtime today. Jared Kuehn with Commercial Lending First Security Bank. Jared, welcome to you too. And how did you get involved? What benefits did you find from being part of the MBIA?
So kind of a similar story. An employer was a member, and I got wrapped into being a member on a committee, and kind of just got involved and liked the folks and liked what was going on. It's a good tie-in with what I do at work, and so it's just been a good experience for the last 5 or 6 years here.
Excellent, 5 or 6 years. Wow. What are some of the benefits of being an MBIA member?
I think definitely networking with other people in your industry in this community. We're still, we're always growing, but we're still very kind of small community minded. Very neighborly. And so a lot of our members maybe are new to town or just starting out on their own business. So it's very helpful for them to get to network and making those connections.
It's a pretty broad brush, too, isn't it? When your name is Missoula Building Industry Association, there may be people out there that think, well, building industry, that doesn't exactly affect me, but a lot of ways, it probably does.
Yes, the majority of our membership is actually made up of associate members. So that's more of our lenders, title companies, realtors, from all different aspects, anything to do with the Building Industry Association.
Yeah, and you're at it year round. What kinds of events do you folks hold that might help, say, recruit new members?
We start off the year with our home show, so that is at the Hilton Garden Inn in the first part of the year, and so that definitely lets all of our members showcase their products to the community, and then we kind of move on to some more fun events throughout the year. Including we have a trap shoot in the spring, a really fun golf tournament in the summer, and now we're gearing up to the parade, and we end out the year with our charity auction, which we Denim and Diamonds, which we co-host with the Missoula Organization of Realtors.
Yeah, Jared, a lot of those kinds of events. There's probably people there that they might need a home loan somewhere down the road.
Absolutely.
What's the benefit of you to be at those events?
Well, again, I would go back to the networking part of that. But it's also support. A lot of our customers are members of the MBIA, and it's it's in support of our customers. And I think there's a lot of good benefits that come out of it. I think the MBIA is a good kind of pillar of the community in terms of being involved and having a say politically with what goes on, and how Missoula grows. And we're fairly involved with the kind of the political actions of what's going on with city council and the county and that kind of thing as well.
Yeah. This is Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate, and our guest, Amber Shaffer, membership coordinator for the Missoula Building Industry Association, and Jared Kuehn, commercial lending with First Security Bank here in Missoula. We'll be talking about the parade of homes. But you also represent members at various meetings and conferences. I assume I don't mean just locally. What types of those might you attend? And Jared, I think you might have touched on this just a little bit, but what issues would you address on behalf of members?
So something that's going on really as we speak, happening this week, is Missoula has applied for a BUILD grant, which is a federal grant for infrastructure development. And this is in relation to streets and infrastructure off of Mullen Road, kind of out by Hellgate Elementary. And this is a grant that the city applied for last year and didn't quite qualify for it for various reasons. And they've applied for it again this year. And I know that the city of Missoula and the Chamber of Commerce and a bunch of groups out of Missoula actually have people in Washington, D.C. this week lobbying for that. We do have a state director that sat down with state representatives to discuss that and kind of lobby for that. That would be a big deal for Missoula to get that grant. That would kind of help develop a plan out in that area instead of a sort of creating a piecemeal plan. It would basically get some federal money to put streets and sewer and that kind of thing in. That would be about a $23 million grant that would come into Missoula.
And you mentioned that the first time through it was not granted. What are some of the hurdles that you see that we would have to overcome to accomplish that?
I think it was a matter of preparedness, and I don't know all the specifics of it, but I do know that, last year when the city applied, or maybe it's the county, I apologize if I don't get that exactly right.
That's right.
But I know that they were kind of at the top of the list and had sort of missed getting that approval by just a couple of spots. So they felt like, and they got some advice from the powers that be in terms of what it takes to sort of get over that hump. And I know that they're coming back into it this year, again, by sending representatives from Missoula, MBIA, Chamber of Commerce, et cetera, et cetera. I think there's a little more cohesive, effort this year around. And I think maybe just a little more organized, maybe I think it's just a matter of showing the need for it. And I think that's kind of what they're looking for. So I think we're fairly comfortable, and hopefully being able to qualify for that. So.
Is that something that will be reviewed and evaluated real soon and hopefully okayed? Or are we a few months down the road? Where are we at on that?
I don't know the specific dates, but I believe that would happen by the end of the year. That we would know
pretty
by
soon
the
then.
end of the year. So yeah, here in the next couple of months.
Yeah. Well, how about membership training? Are there things that you might be able to help members with or prospective members with, depending on what business categories they're with?
Yeah, so one of the benefits of MBIA is the GRIP insurance program. So that's actually run through the Montana BIA. And it just, if your business qualifies, then you save a lot of money on your insurance for different reasons. And so one of the things that they offer across the state is different training. So I know next week there's a defensive driving class that they're offering. So that gives a lot of our members discounts on their insurance. So, when they have a lot of employee vehicles out on the roads, it's something they offer. They offer forklift training, all sorts of different things. They have about 20 classes they can offer, and they'll drive over from Helena and host these classes as long as we can gather 7 to 8 people. And so they're just really great to work with.
So if you pass that training, then that's what hopefully qualifies you for some discounted rates?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's called GRIP, a catchy acronym.
Yes.
Right? So a Group Rewards Insurance Program. Do I have that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. How long has that been in place? It sounds like a very beneficial program.
Yeah, it's been in place for a long time. I think in the last 2 years, we've really tried to push that to our members. For the smaller companies, they might think that they don't qualify or don't really know all the classes that are offered. So we've really been pushing that more.
Before my guests here on Missoula Real Estate today, Amber Shaffer, Membership Coordinator for the Missoula Building Industry Association, the MBIA, and Jared Kuehn, Commercial Lending with First Security Bank here in Missoula. Before we get to the Parade of Homes, which, by the way, is coming up the 20th through the 22nd, tell us about some of the other fun events you host during the year.
Let's see. As we mentioned a little bit ago, our home show is probably the other largest event that we do besides the parade. And then our trap shoot is something we just started last year and has just been really fun for our members. And then our golf fundraiser in July is always just a ton of fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Parade of Homes events. Now, Parade of Homes, they've been around for a long time. What are some of the main draws for people who attend? Are they looking for design or remodeling ideas? Are they actively looking to buy a different home? Do they just like to look and dream? What brings people into to Parades of Homes?
So I would say everything you mentioned. Okay. So there's definitely a lot of people that are there, to get ideas of how they want to do their remodel, how they want to do their build, just to get different ideas. Yeah. To meet with builders. We actually had a phone call yesterday to the office. There was this woman lives in Helena, but she owns property here in Missoula, and she wants to build in the next year or two. And so she was given our name to call to find out some reputable builders in the area. And we said, well, perfect for you. Next weekend we have this Parade of Homes. And once she found out that the builders would be in the homes, answering questions and being there able to talk along with their staff and subcontractors, she was just really excited. So yes, all sorts of from the spectrum. And growing up in Missoula, I actually went to the parade growing up with my grandma and my aunts. We'd all go out and make a whole day of it.
Right.
But my grandma always said she liked to see how the other half lived, because she was in her forever home. So yeah, it's just a really fun event.
Yeah. I was going to add to that. Same thing growing up in Missoula. Attended Parade of Homes with my parents, and I think it was for them. It was always just curious of, what's going on down the street and what does it look like, and kind of getting, an idea for possible remodels and stuff like that. But it is, I think for a lot of people, it's just curious to see what the inside of some of these homes look like, and kind of know what's going on in your neighborhood. So,
Gee, we all grew up in Missoula. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about this year's Parade of Homes, September 20th through the 22nd. So basically coming up this coming weekend after this one, you have 9 fabulous homes. You got 8 different builders. What can we expect to see? And please feel free to say a little bit about any or all of them if you'd like to.
One thing that strikes me this year is a lot of diversity, maybe compared to previous years. And, kind of what we're seeing in Missoula, and I think that our parade represents that this year, is, a combination of sort of the traditional subdivision type home, but then also some infill development where we're seeing in older neighborhoods, houses that are kind of being put into established neighborhoods, townhomes and stuff like that. And so it's kind of an interesting combination of, the show home, and then, some of them are maybe going to be maybe more on the attainable side in terms of price range and stuff like that. But just the diversity this year, I think, is what struck me when I started looking at the houses that we're going to have on the parade.
Now, when you want to be as a builder, as a home designer, whatever, when you want to be in the Parade of Homes, obviously you're looking for some diversity. Yes, that is spectacular. But, gee, we've already got 4 that are real similar to that. Who makes the judgment call? Can anyone and everyone, if they want to be in the Parade of Homes, can they be in there? Or are you kind of trying to strike some sort of balance for the benefit of those who go to the parade?
In the years that I've been involved, we've never limited anyone that's wanted to enter. They do have to be a member with MBIA and in good standing. Mm-hmm. So beyond that, yeah, we just, every builder is different and their style is different. And as soon as you get to know them and you go into a couple of their homes, you can definitely see where they add their touch. And so, yes, over the years I don't think we've ever limited anyone.
Right. Now, I'm not asking you to play favorites here, both of you, but are there a couple of homes that maybe you've already seen them? Are there a couple of homes that, man, I just can't wait for people to come on in here and take a look at this?
I do have one, but I think just to be clear,
oh man,
his was
Wait a minute. Are you as politically correct as her?
I'm going to be as politically correct as she is. I do have my favorites.
Oh man, okay. Well, then we'll let you go. I was going to let him go first, but now I'm going to let you go first, Amber.
So to be clear, it was the first house I saw because it was completed first.
All right, well done so far.
That is a new member with us and new to the parade, Property Solutions. That's Scott Smith, and so. His is the modern farmhouse and ADU, and it's one of those that is an infill. So it's in an existing neighborhood off of Russell on 4th Street. So he actually tried to remodel the existing home, but once he started doing so, found out, there was foundational problems, and so it actually had to come down and he had to start over. but it's just it fits right in the neighborhood. It has great, huge windows, lots of light. His wife landscaped it beautifully, and that's the one I want to take my husband to go see.
Is that east or west of Russell Street?
East.
East of Russell Street. Okay, good. I'm not quite sure if I know which one you're talking about. Then I'll find it. But I saw one a couple blocks west of Russell Street on 4th that somebody is putting a lot of effort in. I thought, oh my goodness, what a house! I thought that might be the one you were talking about. But yeah, okay, a little bit east of Russell Street. How about you, Jared?
Oh man, well she might have stolen my thunder on that. The other ones that stand out to me, there are 2 of them. By the same builder group, the Bongard and the Stall House, and those are kind of contemporary homes, again, in an infill situation.
Right.
I think they're very different than, what we've seen in the past, and just a unique look, and kind of excited to see the response on those as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missoula Real Estate today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate, and our guest Amber Shaffer, membership coordinator for the Missoula Building Industry Association. And Jared Kuehn in commercial lending with First Security Bank here in Missoula. We're talking about the annual MBIA Parade of Homes. And geographically, near as I could tell, this year's homes are not spread out over a huge area, right? You won't be driving all day to get from one to the next. It looks like a pretty manageable tour.
Yes, it is. It is definitely all around Missoula. For example, Hoyt Homes has the Lupine at Tura Meadows.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a little bit east of town. And then Butler Creek Development has a modern home, the Confluence, up in the Butler Creek area.
And I would just add, for the folks in Missoula, those are 2 sort of newly developing areas. So the Confluence up in Butler Creek is a subdivision that had stalled, and it's under new ownership, and so there's some activity. You've probably noticed that as you drive by on I-90, and then same Tura Meadows is, as we search for places to build houses. Those are both, I think, kind of interesting options for people to look at, and maybe not the first one off the top of your head when you think of subdivisions in Missoula, but I'd encourage people to get out and check those subdivisions out if they're looking to build or buy.
And Edgell also has their home, the Hillside Vantage. That's a kind of modern style, but kind of definitely mid-century, you can see. And that is it's in another subdivision.
Invermere subdivision.
Yes, Invermere. And so that's nestled up in Upper Miller Creek.
Okay, all right. But still pretty manageable. Like you said, Amber, when you were a little girl and you went with your mom and grandma, you kind of made a day out of it. That's sort of the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's definitely a whole loop around different neighborhoods, and I think that's also important too, because maybe you can't go find land and build, your dream home, so you've got to work with where you're at.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess the other important thing, I assume that you don't, you have a ticket for the Parade of Homes. You don't have to see them all in one day, right?
No, so your ticket is good through all 3 days,
right? And
you're welcome to go back to the houses as often as you like.
Yeah.
A lot of times we see, if it's a couple, the wife will go find her favorites, and then the next day bring her spouse back, or her friends to see her favorites.
The Missoula Building Industry Association Parade of Homes, Friday through Sunday, the 20th through the 22nd of September, next weekend. But there is also, Amber, there's a special event Thursday also, if anyone's interested, right? That's your VIP bus tour?
Yeah, so the VIP bus tour is Thursday, and so we have 3 buses headed out. We take off from the Hilton, and so each bus will see 4 to 5 homes, depending on the route. Okay. Yep, and then we come back, and then we do our awards for the homes. So judges go around on Wednesday and judge each of the homes on different categories like craftsmanship, design, different things like that. And so then those awards are given out on Thursday night so that the builders can display them in their homes over the weekend. Is
that the what goes on in the banquet that I'm MC?
Yes, you are our host for the evening.
That I couldn't find any excuse not to get. I was. Sheila asked me so early, I was kind of trapped. No, I'm just kidding.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, too. As long as I don't get booed when I announce a winner. They're going to be fans of the other places that, it's been rigged.
None of that.
Yeah, okay. Pretty affordable fun, too. Now the VIP bus tour, that's a different cost and a different thing. But just as far as regular folks' tickets to get to go to the Parade of Homes, for any or all of those days, the 20th through the 22nd. Pretty reasonable ticket, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's $10.
$10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do we go about getting tickets? I think you've made that pretty easy, too. There's a number of different options there, right?
Yes, so you can go to our website, which is buildmissoula.com. You can give our office a call at 542-4423. Sorry, I did that wrong. 543-4423.
All right.
And then you can also just get your ticket at the first home you visit.
Yeah.
So the map and the addresses will be on our website next week, and then it'll also be in the Missoulian on Sunday and Wednesday.
There's no limit to the number of tickets that are sold, so you don't have to worry about getting there Sunday afternoon and having tickets run out.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably one of the easiest ways to go about it.
You have a beautiful booklet. One of our stations here is involved with some ticket giveaways to listeners who are just loving that. But how does that gorgeous Parade of Homes, I don't know if I call it a program or a guide or just a booklet, but very well done. How does that all get put together?
Well, we definitely have to give a shout out to Metal Strategic Marketing. Tara Hall's over there, who is also on our board, has been putting this together. One of our builder members, actually, Lauren Mostad, designed the current layout a few years ago, and it takes a lot of work. So we start harassing, I would say, even our builders starting early June to get as much information as we can so we can get this. Because something that we hear each year is people definitely hang on to these for years.
Sure.
So that maybe they're not going to build this year or next year, but our builders say, even sometimes 8 years later, people will bring in the magazine and say, this is the house that you built that I loved. Let's start here.
No kidding.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of times people will have little notes written in there and different things.
Wow, that's awesome. Is the First Security Bank ad in there somewhere? Did you give them a
primo spot?
Oh, look at that.
Right on the back page.
Yes, so they are one of our gold key sponsors.
I might have known.
So, yeah.
That's how you get on Missoula Real Estate today, Jared. Good job with that. Speaking of which, it's brought to you by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. And we do want to say a special thank you to some of Diane's marketing partners that help bring you the show every week. Rob Fleming with Man Mortgage, Miles Link of Opportunity Bank of Montana, and Carol Blodgett from MakeItMissoula.com. So we know how to get our tickets to the Parade of Homes. I should ask you, I'm sorry, I did not ask you about hours for the general public, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What about hours that you can tour the homes on the Parade of Homes?
So, yeah, Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
All right. Pretty flexible.
Flexible.
Yeah, very good. Amber, I'll give it back to you. Any success stories that you'd like to share, something or more than one thing that MBIA's been involved with while you've been there that has been particularly gratifying for you?
So our charity auction, Denim and Diamonds, that we co-host with the realtors, so half the proceeds go to MBIA's chosen benefactor, and then theirs goes to their More for Kids program. So each year we take applicants to be that benefactor. Mm-hmm. And last year we were able to give $10,000 to help with the project down at the carousel for Dragon's Hollow.
Oh.
And to just, to be able to be involved like that and then have our members be down there actually working was just really exciting to see.
Yeah. What all did they have to do? What did what was the money earmarked for? Just upgrades on Dragon Hollow?
Yep. So we were just sponsors of that. Yep.
Okay.
That whole
all right.
model.
Yeah. Anything else like that comes to mind? Jared, you got some?
Yeah, I would just add, I've really enjoyed watching the growth of some of our newer and younger members. We've got a good group of members that have been around for decades and decades. And we're kind of starting to see, a new group come in, and the collaboration with, the existing members and the new members, I think, has really been fun to watch. And I think you've seen new members come in and engage, and, I think there's kind of a just a nice relationship between existing members. It's not adversarial or anything like that. So I've just seen a lot of the newer members really grow and establish themselves through connections made with MBIA. So I'd add that as something that's been fun to watch.
Amber?
And to go along with that, for example, we have Chambers Construction on the tour this year, and they're new. And they have a beautiful house, the Gables at Green Bench. And so I think when we have that first meeting with all the builders, seasoned and new, it's just really interesting. I think the newbies come in and are a little intimidated, maybe. But then, there's definitely, the Edgels and the Hoyts and the Mostads that are so helpful, and they'll give them all their tips, because anything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong at some point in their, 20-some years plus of doing this parade. So they're more than willing to give the advice so that it doesn't have to happen to the new guys.
Well, and new guys are there, I would imagine. I guess that speaks to the local economy here. Missoula is not shrinking. Missoula is not a bleak dead end. There is just continuous growth and progress that way. And naturally, you're sooner or later probably going to cultivate a lot of new prospective members that see the benefits of being in an organization like the MBIA. And that's great for you guys. I mean, that gives you an opportunity to, as you say, continue to grow the organization, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, and something that we're also heavily involved in is, recruiting more younger people into the trades.
Yes.
It's a national shortage, and so something that we've been working with, different community members, the chamber, different organizations, but over at Hellgate High School, we've really been able to make an impact there between the trades class needed more supplies, and our Gold Key sponsor, BMC, was able to step up and provide those supplies to them. And this year, Mr. Reinhardt over there is actually going to switch his shop class to more of a trades minded. So they'll be learning how to do framing this year. So we've been working with our members to help get that funded and be able to support, and encourage younger people.
We also just issued 3 scholarships on behalf of the MBIA to students that have graduated high school and are going into, Missoula College and going into some of those programs where they're learning some of these skills. So involved in it that way as well.
That's pretty sharp stuff, because what do you often hear from, I also sell advertising in addition to doing broadcast duties, and what do you always hear? Man, we're having a hard time filling this position. I can't find somebody with the qualifications I need to do that. So it sounds like maybe you're helping them start a little bit younger that way.
Yes, yeah. It's never too early to start.
Missoula Real Estate today is presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate, and our guests have been Amber Shaffer, the membership coordinator for the Missoula Building Industry Association, along with Jared Kuehn. Jared is in commercial lending with First Security Bank. Hey, before we wrap it up, just in case folks missed it, Amber, if you would, let's go ahead and go through the ticket prices, hours, and where you get tickets for the Parade of Homes, the 20th through the 22nd. I know we just did that a few minutes ago. In case somebody missed that info, like to have them have that again.
Yep. So next Friday, the hours are 10 to 8, and the Saturday is the same hours, 10 to 8, and Sunday 10 to 6. So the tickets are $10, good for the whole weekend, and you can go back to the homes as many times as you'd like. And the easiest way to get those tickets is to just buy them at the first house that you visit. And so we'll have the addresses posted on our website starting on Monday, which is buildmissoula.com. You can also download, there's an app called Parade Craze.
Right.
And if you download that, you can just choose the Missoula Parade. And with that, you'll be able to see the renderings and some other plans, directions. And you can also, as you're going through the tour, leave comments for the builders, because the builders do go back and we compile all that information for them. And so it's really helpful for them as well.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So that's a good way to go. Keep that website in mind, folks, buildmissoula.com, and you'll have all the locations on your website as of this coming Monday. Mm-hmm. So if you kind of decide maybe last minute, spur of the moment that you want to go, just go to the first house that's most convenient for you and get your tickets there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we'll also have lists with the addresses outside our office. So we'll have it at the front and back door for anyone that wants to stop by and just grab a list of addresses and decide from there where they want to start.
Okay. And the MBIA office, South Avenue, pretty much right across from the South Avenue entrance to Southgate Mall, right?
Yep.
That's how I find you? All right. Amber Shaffer, membership coordinator for Missoula Building Industry Association, and Jared Kuehn, commercial lending with First Security Bank in Missoula, on Missoula Real Estate today. Get to the Parade of Homes, folks, the September 20th through the 22nd. Thank you both for coming in. It's been a pleasure. Good job.
Thanks, Denny.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Missoula Real Estate Today. If you have any suggested topics for any future Missoula Real Estate Today programs or any questions about buying or selling, contact Diane Beck with Windermere Real Estate. Email dianebeck@realtor.com or visit her website homesinmissoula.com. That's homesinmissoula.com. We'll see you next time on Missoula Real Estate Today.